Up for sale on eBay is a RCBS luber sizer, and this unit can be used either in its standard configuration, which I have all the parts and pieces that went to it, which basically the only difference is that you use a soft lube. I call them grease lubes. They're very messy, and if you shoot in hot weather in Texas and etc., you'll find that the stuff gets all over everything. This one I modified to use a heater, and it has a thermostat, and it uses Thompson bullet lube, which is a Blue Angel. It's a very hard lube. It requires heat to use it. And I built a air ram up here, and it simply takes the place of the screw-in module that RCBS uses. They give you a little wrench to keep tightening it up, and then you keep tightening it up, and you keep tightening it up, etc. This, you set the air pressure at whatever, and with that and the temperature of the light bulb, which is the heating element, and their thermostat, it will just about maintain everything for you. The only thing you'll have to do is stop and put new sticks of the Blue Angel in, which, by the way, are not hollow, they're solid. So when you first turn it on, I'm going to move this camera a little bit. Okay, when you first turn it on down here, you'll see this light come on here, and that light tells you that the heating element's at work, and when it gets up to temperature, that light goes out. Now, I really never wait until it gets totally to temperature. I just don't have the patience, and so you can actually start using it probably 8 to 10 minutes before it's up to temperature. Now, up above here, there's a pressure gauge, and that tells you the inline pressure from your air compressor. You can do it off a scuba tank or whatever you want to do. And that takes anywhere from about 90 to 150 psi. Now, why the big difference, you ask? Well, if you cast bullets in Alaska, and it's the lead that you're putting into this thing is 33, 34, 50 degrees or whatever, it takes a lot more pressure. Even though the thermostat is up to temperature, you're feeding the really cold bullets in, and it will drastically drop the temperature of the dyes. So it's a balance between air pressure and the thermostat. Now, of course, the thermostat is adjustable, but in Texas and Florida, it works perfectly well where it's set. And today it's about 55 degrees outside. The garage door is open. I just got through casting these bullets, dumping them in cold water. And it's working very well at about 150 psi. Now, like I said, this is totally adjustable. So, on the other side over here, I won't move the camera, but there is a thermometer, and it sits down inside this housing. And by the way, this housing is just tin, and it has fiberglass insulation in it to help maintain the heat. Alright, when it comes time to change the bullet lube, you simply unhook the air. It's a snap fitting, like so, and this whole head screws out. Okay, put your new, you have to retract the ram in there by hand, push it against the block of wood or whatever, put your new stick of Blue Angel in, or whatever hard lube you decide to use, screw it back down, hook your air pressure back up, turn on your air on this left side over here. Let me move the camera one more time. Okay, now you can see the thermometer coming in here. Here's where your air chuck fitting goes on, and you simply open up this. Now, you don't have to leave it open, because believe it or not, if you put your air pressure on this cylinder, you can cast this many bullets before you ever have to apply any more air. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see these, but they're beautifully filled, cast, and they're It's a very hard lube in that I like. So with that, I'll get this thing set up and we'll cast or size a few and let you see what this thing does. All right, here we go. I'm only up at about 110 psi. Stick the bullet in, pull the lever. Stick the bullet in, pull the lever. Now I've got the inlet air turned off, and I'll cast a few of these bullets, and I'm not sure you can see the actual pressure gauge, but I'll tell you it is not going down. And you just keep doing this until you run out of lube. You don't stop, you don't twist anything. My problem anymore, heading towards 80 years old, is I'm getting shaky and I drop things, so you'll probably see me drop a half a dozen of these bullets on the floor. I'll turn around and try to get more out of your way so you can see what's happening. But it's a rather fast process. And these are 44 Magnums. And I didn't mention, but I'm going to guess there's a half a dozen different dies and punches that come with it. I do 38, 357, 9mm, 40, 45 APCs, 44 Magnums. So that will all be included. I will tell you that these, it's a little more difficult to change the actual sizing dies unless you do it while they're hot. Because when you let this stuff cool down, it's you know, it's like a paraffin block. It's a special process they use. I don't know what all, beeswax and all sorts of things in the Thompson bullet lube. So anyway, as you see, this is about all there is to it. And I don't know if that's in focus or not, but it does a very nice job. And I used to be able to, you know, cast a good deal per hour, but that process is slowing way down, but so is the amount I shoot. So. But don't forget, it will come with everything you need to put it back to the plain Jane old RCBS lubricizer, including, you know, the feeder that goes in the back that screws in, and all the O-rings and seals and everything. And all this other stuff simply comes off. There's 3 hex head screws that hold all this tin on that keeps the thing warm. So with that, I won't bore you anymore. Thank you.
Alright, I don't really want to bore you with a bunch of details, but I really want you to know what you're bidding on. So this is the back side of the lubricizer. Okay, this is your air line inlet. As I said before, I run anywhere from 90 to 150 psi. This is the back side of the pressure gauge, so you know how much pressure you're putting on the system. Down here is a socket that holds the 100 to 150 watt light bulb that heats the unit. Of course, this is where that plugs in. Turning it on around, this is the actual valve that will bleed off any excess pressure. So if you get the pressure too high, you can simply bleed off a little bit here. Okay, turning it on around, this is a little cap that you remove, that you go in to adjust the thermostat, either hotter or colder. Power switch that powers the unit up. Indicator light that tells you when the heating element, the bulb, is heating And of course, when it shuts off, this light goes out. 2 screws here and 1 screw back behind here, which is hard to see. But those 3 screws let you remove all the shrouding that covers up the base of the actual sizer. And by the way, taking this off takes about 30-40 seconds, and it makes changing your dies a lot easier. Thermometer gives you an indicator of the temperature inside the base. And by the way, this Blue Angel bullet lube that I speak so high of is 125 to 140 degree flow temperature. And here now we're back around to the front side to where you can see the knob. That's your air inlet pressure, and there's your pressure gauge. As I mentioned before, included with this thing will be the parts to, if you want to remove the air ram that feeds the bullet lube, you can. These are brand new parts, RCBS parts, to put it back to its normal state. And as I said before, I'm not sure why you would ever do that, but I will include them. Also included are 8 dies, lubricator dies and sizing dies. 6 of them are RCBS, 2 of them are Lyman. Of course, they both fit. And then there's an assortment of punches that are an assortment of, round nose, totally flat based, and semi-wide cutter. And I found that what I have here will actually take care of most anything I loaded. Last but not least, there's 24 plus sticks of Thompson Blue Angel bullet lube. Here's a dozen pack that's not been opened. Here's a dozen pack that has 1 out of it. Here's a few oddballs up here. Then there is 1 Red Angel, which I've never used. It's simply the same, made by the same company, but a higher melting temperature. I never tried them. And I'll throw in a couple sticks of RCBS, which is a very soft, greasy lube. Now, all of the Blue Angel sticks are 1 inch by 10 or 12 inches, which will give you, each stick will fill the reservoir 2+ times. So I guess that's it. I've explained this thing about as well as I can. Thank you.